straight now. I feel like I wanted to pick one poem out of the book. The book's got a lot about my brothers in it, and I wanted to pick one that I felt was the soul of the book a little bit. So this is one that I've went for. It's called Subway, and yes, it's about the franchise Subway, and but it's really about my brother, who was an ex-boxer, fantastic character, but had serious mental health issues. And if you put a boxer and mental health issues together, it can get lively. So this is dedicated to my bro, and I've got a few other poems about him in the book. It's called Subway. It was my fault, to be honest. I told him back when I was a student that I figured out if you wanted to sit and read in a cafe, pick a franchise. Because the staff don't care about profit and won't notice if you sit there all night reading a novel or writing one. So began Francy's lifelong relationship with Subway. Meet me in Subway. In Belfast or County Down, he'd be there at the seat nearest the door, scanning the street through the glass front. I could check things when I was there. His clothes, his eye contact, how long he would sit before getting up for another Diet Coke refill, how many refills he thought it was appropriate to get for free, what his banter with the staff was like. I'd search their faces to see were they enjoying his crack or if they'd had enough of him. Maybe it was the maps on the wall of the New York subway that gave him his bearings. He'd never been, but always wanted to go. Madison Square Gardens, of course, to fight Tyson or Louis or Dempsey. And it was one of the bad ones, even for Francy, when he ripped out the computer cables at his local bank because they couldn't give him any more money, and he smashed the place up, threatened the staff, and walked across the street for a Diet Coke in Subway, where 3 policemen tried to restrain him. Him, an ex-boxer bouncer who knew all the Jason Bourne and Bruce Lee movies by heart and was smack bang at the peak of psychosis. So when one of the officers was injured, it was all recounted for the court that found him guilty of assault based on the CCTV footage from his local subway. So the next time he was out, I was, even for Francy, a little surprised when he said that we should meet in Subway. I hesitated and checked with the staff out of earshot. Was it okay? And they laughed. Francy, of course, he's great crack. So when the outrageous happens, even for Francy, and he drops dead at 48 on Lower Crescent as the bouncers rush over and try their best to bring him round, we can all work out that he's just crossed Botanic Avenue coming out of Subway. And at his wake in Burndale Estate, I'm sitting there in a fairly traumatized state. We get a knock on the door, and it's 4 young women in uniform fleece tops, their makeup already well smudged before we show them anywhere near the coffin, carrying 3 high-stacked trays of assorted 6-inch baguettes, compliments from the local Subway. Thank you. Thank you.